Yo, does anybody know if there's a way for me to play the COD Vanguard beta without having to pre-order it and having to spend $70 on it? Because, look, guys, I love COD, but am I really trying to spend $70 on COD Vanguard right now? Because those $70 can easily go towards groceries, food, clothes, bills, maybe even therapy for the last two CODs. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the boy Fully, and I'm bringing you guys another video right here on Black Ops Cold War. And today we're talking about a few more leaks that have come out about COD Vanguard just before the beta comes out. And spoiler alert, it's not all actually terrible. So if you're a Joe C. COD Gucci eater, you might not actually hate this video that much. But before we get into anything, make sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and let's get right into it. Oh, by the way, turn on post notifications if you'd like. Let's get right into it. First thing I want to say is these few leaks that I have for you guys aren't all that terrible. Like, genuinely speaking, I know I've been pretty critical of COD Vanguard, mainly because it looks like it's going to be ass, all things considered. And trust me, some of these other leaks that I'm hearing do sound pretty bad, but it's not horrible. There's definitely been worse leaks coming out about this game, and some of these leaks that are actually kind of interesting, I'm actually not that opposed to some of them. But one of the first leaks that's really interesting that I've heard about COD Vanguard so far is the fact that you can kit your weapon to have 10 attachments, which honestly sounds awful. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that part sounds like ass. However, the more attachments that you add onto your weapon, the more your gun is gonna weigh, the louder the volume of your footsteps is gonna become because you're carrying such a heavy weapon. And that's something that we've never seen in COD before, and I honestly think that's pretty cool. Now, I don't know how some of the perks work, whether you need a perk to have 10 attachments on your gun, or since it's being rumored to be exactly like Gunsmith from Modern Warfare 2019, like, you know, majority of the features and mechanics in this game. Because if this is going to be a perk for you to have 10 attachments, I think that really does balance out the fact that you can have 10 goddamn attachments on your weapon. Honestly, I would hope there's some balancing that goes into having 10 whole-ass attachments. Because let's be honest, if you're going to put 10 whole-ass attachments on your gun, that's most likely an AR or an LMG. What are the chances that you're going to lose minigun fights? So honestly, I would hope there's some balancing going into having 10 attachments, and maybe not just the fact that you're going to be louder, which is already incredibly interesting on its own, but if you actually had to use a whole ass perk slot for that, I think it would be much better. And this feature is something that we've never seen in COD before, and I think it's actually really cool. So the people who think I'm too negative about COD Vanguard and the leaks so far, I think this leak is actually kind of cool. And I think this has also been explained a little bit, but if the weight of your weapon also correlates to the volume of your footsteps, I think that's incredibly cool. So for example, if you're running around with an AR or an LMG, you're going to be naturally louder than somebody running around with an SMG. And speaking of volume of your footsteps, this also correlates to dead silence, which is not going to be a perk in this game, which I think is actually really bad. In general though, I don't think it's going to be that bad in COD Vanguard. As a matter of fact, if you play the alpha, then you know that the footsteps aren't actually that loud. And I'm not saying there's no use for dead silence as a perk in this case, because trust me, Modern Warfare 2019 had no dead silence, and that was probably one of the worst contributors to why that game was ass cheeks. However, in COD Vanguard, the difference is that the footsteps are naturally not that loud. Now, some people are saying that the footsteps not being loud enough is actually a problem, but if what I just said about the attachments and the weight of your gun is true, then this actually might not be too bad of a problem. Unless you actively run around with no attachments on an SMG or a pistol, then maybe you'll actually hear the footsteps if they're running around with something a little bit bigger with more attachments, in which case the footstep audio is actually not too bad. Oh my god. And dead silence not being a perk is actually not that bad of a problem. The problem a little bit is the fact that this is going to be another field upgrade, and I just think field upgrades in general don't need a return in COD. I don't like field upgrades personally. In Modern Warfare 2019, they were awful. I mean, like, let's just be honest, they weren't that good. In Cold War, they were a little bit better, but I still don't like them all that much because of things like trophy systems. I think trophy systems are a little bit too overpowered in some cases, but if they can balance that, I think field upgrades aren't too bad. However, I do think dead silence as a perk is actually kind of required in COD nowadays, especially with the camping culture that Modern Warfare 2019 and Joe C. COD created. One of the only counters to that is actually strictly just dead silence, and if you're only getting dead silence once every couple minutes, I don't see how this camping culture is being nerfed in any way at all. But with how powerful camping is probably going to be again this year, just like in Modern Warfare 2019, I do think there needs to be a way to balance it, and dead silence being a field upgrade, it isn't going to do that. We're already not going to have a traditional minimap. There's already going to be mounting. You can slide while mounting. There's going to be doors. Destructible cover seems to be a pro to campers instead of a con. So dead silence being a field upgrade and not a perk actually doesn't sound all that good to me. And to the people who don't want dead silence in at all, honestly, straight to the gulag, alright? Straight to the gulag. That's unacceptable. So in conclusion, that leak about dead silence is pretty bad, but it could be a lot worse. Kind of like this next leak And this next leak is something that I'm actually genuinely confused about. I hope this doesn't come out to be true, and I hope they actually change this. Apparently, armor plates are gonna be a field upgrade. Now, if you don't see the problem with armor plates being a field upgrade that you get for free every so often, honestly, that is a life sentence to the gulag. To be completely honest, armor plates shouldn't even be a kill streak. Definitely not a score streak, definitely not a kill streak, and absolutely 100% not a field upgrade. Again, this is something that's going to be incredibly abused by people who camp and sit behind doors and are mounted. Again, I don't know how many times I need to say this. Joe COD, you single-handedly created something so awful in Call of Duty that now simple things like armor plates are seen as something horrible, because armor plates as field upgrades is horrible. There's definitely a lot of problems when you think of armor plates being a field upgrade. One, you're gonna get them for free. So naturally, if you just suck balls at the game, you're getting extra health for no reason at all. If you sit in a corner all game mounted with an LMG or with an AR, you're gonna get extra health for no reason whatsoever. Not only does this promote camping very, very heavily, this is something that creates really, really bad, intolerable metas. For example, could you imagine what would happen if you paired armor plates with a stim shot, which is most likely going to be in the game because Call of Duty can't get away from that goddamn thing for whatever reason. By the way, stim shots also one of the worst mechanics ever introduced into COD. But if you pair that with an armor plate and you start camping, that's something that's going to make people want to not play this game 100%. But this is also one feature that I do think could be changed if a lot of people complain about it, which a lot of people have been complaining about it because this is honestly one of the worst decisions I've seen. So it's pretty bad, but it's honestly not the end of the world. That's going to do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about these additional leaks that have been coming out before the beta comes out. Some of them are bad, some of them are pretty bad, some of them are not that bad whatsoever. And because I need to mention this again, I don't think this game is going to be complete ass. Again, I do predict this game to be better than Modern Warfare 2019 and Cold War. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Turn on post notifications if you'd like. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodaloo.
This ain't in my body. Hey.